My upper branch line bench work is now completed. It is very sturdy. These bolts, again, the bolts were not really for me being able to detach it, although I could quite easily. There's a nut on the underside of this, so if I just undid the nuts on the underside of the baseboard, I'd be able to remove the whole section in one go. I have no plans to do that. There's plenty of access from the rear here for me to be able to get our hand in, nudge along anything, derail anything that might have become detached. There's plenty of height, as you can see here, for being able to get myself in there, and it's fully open all of the way around, so that should be okay. I have this spur coming off here will feed the industrial area. I have done a little track plan of what I intend to do for it. I'll use my Metcalfe Brewery kit down one end, and thinking about maybe a China clay plant or something down the other. And there's a section here that I'd cut out when I first did this module, which I will keep, which is a cold drop. So one of the sidings will come down this way. We'll have a colding stage area just there, maybe a coal merchant. I also made a little pit stop when I was home last week. Went to the Gagemaster shop down in Arundel. I spent longer there than I did actually going around the castle, I think, and so I got a whole bunch of goodies, a lot of which actually were points and track work for this new section. I picked up these Pico points at a local hobby shop here in the States at roughly $20, which is about somewhere between 12 and 15 quid. And the same points down in Gagemaster were just under 9 quid. So since I was there, I got about the 10 sets of points that I think I'll need to accomplish this track plan. So before I get this additional industrial area done, I think what I'll start doing is two things. One, put in the scenic pieces at the back here, thinking of a tunnel area before I get to the point, so these points would actually be inside the tunnel, which is probably a recipe for disaster. There'll be like another tunnel portal here, so the trains would run in through this end and either reappear through this tunnel portal or come out. I might actually front the end of this module here with a 3 wide tunnel entrance. This here will be a section that's a foot long, that all of the tracks will be outside, so there'll be a bridge across the top here, and you'll be able to see trains just disappearing into that tunnel there. And then the next thing I'll have to do is that module there, which will sit on the end of this one. Right now is a piece of hardboard. Oops, sorry about that. 4-foot section of hardboard for the upper layer, and a 2-foot section for the lower layer. So the lower layer, the main line, which will be running along here, loops around here, disappears down behind the back here, and the upper scenic section will be this gradient coming all the way up to the same height as here, and essentially being a reverse loop for this. I've got my reverse loop module here, which will get wired up and attached to this track. I put isolating section at this end of it, and I'll put another one here and power the piece of track in the middle with the auto reverse module. So trying to pick and choose order of events. I'd like to see the scenery appear, but then I want to make sure that I've got to put the main line in too. So we'll see which order it happens. Maybe a mix of everything.